You're losing money, but you're gaining in advertising. Now, in the Beijing dialect, we'd say 赔本赚吆喝. Note that 本 has the R ending, and 吆喝 is pronounced 吆喝, not 吆喝. This would be the Beijing slang. Standard Mandarin Chinese, the national language, is based on the Beijing dialect, but there is a slight distinction between the two. Some colloquial expressions in Beijing cannot be considered standard Mandarin. For example, 盖了帽了. This literally means put the cover on the hat. In other words, you've topped off the top layer. This expression means the best there is. In standard Mandarin Chinese, 盖帽 means to block a shot in basketball. You put a lid on it. 盖帽, you block the shot. Now, beginners shouldn't be too worried about the difference between Beijing dialect and standard Mandarin. There really is no real language barrier between the two. It's just fun to pick up some of the local expressions if you're living in Beijing for any length of time. Let's take a moment to look at a specific language point that came up in today's dialogue. 显得, to appear or to look some way. For example, 下雨以后, 树叶显得更绿了. After it rains, the leaves look even greener. 下雨以后, 树叶显得更绿了. Here's another example. 这件衣服让她显得很年轻. This article of clothing makes her look very young. 这件衣服让她显得很年轻. Okay, let's go back and look at the dialogue and see how they used 显得.
你好，随便看看。
雪梅，你看，这裤子不错，手感好，穿着肯定特舒服。
您真识货，这是全麻的。您再看这裤型，穿上显得特苗条。
Let's look at a few grammatical patterns that came up in today's lesson and do some substitution. 好呢, something 好呢. This is a way of asking a question like, what would be best? What do you think? What would be better? For example, 这儿有这么多家餐馆，去哪家好呢? There's so many restaurants here. Which one would be best? 这儿有这么多家餐馆，去哪家好呢? Now in Beijing, it might be pronounced differently. For instance, in Beijing, we often add the R ending, 餐馆 instead of 餐馆. And instead of saying 哪家, in Beijing, they would commonly say 哪家. It means the same thing. Okay, let's try some substitutions now with this 好呢 pattern.
是先去杭州好呢，还是先去苏州好呢？
是先去